Hi, I'm Stefanie Drexler and I'm a full-time session vocalist from Austria. In my daily studio work, I sing for producers and songwriters from all over the world in various genres and styles. I'm also a music and vocal producer, and today I want to show you how I spice up my vocal productions with some simple backing vocal tricks. The recording setup I'm using right now is simply my laptop, an audio interface, a pair of headphones, and a large diaphragm condenser microphone that I can set up in any room that has some sort of acoustic treatment. And that can simply be a carpet floor or heavy curtains. I usually record into Studio One or Pro Tools as my DAW, and for this video I'm going to be using Studio One Artist. Tip! If you're using a pop filter and a mic shield, that will catch the plosives and reduce harshness and sibilance of your vocal recordings, and that will drastically improve the quality of your sound. Now let's look at some of the techniques that I use in my daily routine of arranging and producing backing vocals.
All right, so first of all, I'm going to create the tracks that I'll be recording my backing vocals on. And I'm gonna do 8 tracks. That means it will be 4 voices in stereo. That's how I usually do it. I try to double every backing vocal. And 8 might seem like a lot of tracks for now, but sometimes while I'm recording, I think of new ideas or I want to add like oohs or ahs or something, and then I don't want to go back and create more tracks while I'm in the recording process. And I'm also going to create a mono track, just one, because I think I'm going to record a harmony, and that's just going to be a mono.
Alright, now let's get to some recording.
When I'm arranging backing vocals for a song that I'm working on, I generally like to make the decisions of where I will place the backing vocals even before I start recording. For example, in the verse, I will look for certain lines that I want to highlight or even words, and I will add a harmony to those. Or in the choruses, where I usually do one harmony voice, in the choruses I'll add another one, so I'll have 2. Or I'll just do oohs or ahs. Another good spot to add backing vocals are transitions. For instance, between lines or between parts, like going from the chorus to the bridge, for instance. And all of that depends on the genre too. So I will either do oohs or ahs in that spot, stacks of vocals, or I'll simply repeat the last word of the part that came before. Another cool technique is to do a call and response. That means I would repeat a line delayed after the lead vocal. And another super fun thing to do is writing a counter melody to a lead vocal. So you're creating a new melody and you can even add a harmony to those lines, which is, I think, pretty creative and fun. So now, while we're watching me record the takes for this song, I will tell you some of the interesting tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that you can try. For instance, trying different levels of doubling. Usually I do a stereo recording of my backing vocals, but sometimes I even record 4 of each voice for a thicker sound. And if I'm going for a really big choir sound, I might end up layering up to 6 tracks of the same voice. And I even sing it in different vocal sounds, like operatic versus belted out, or I mix in some breathy takes. Or what I like to do, if I want to have a realistic sounding choir sound, I sing some imperfect or even pitchy takes to make it sound more real. Sometimes just a mono double of the lead vocal, so not adding a harmony but singing the same melody as the lead vocalist, sounds really cool, and it's all that the song needs. In terms of backing vocal sounds, I sometimes like to do 2 takes in a full voice, and then I add 2 takes in a more breathy vocal sound. And that adds a really nice texture and openness to the recordings. And it's also easier to mix. I'm basically EQing while I'm recording. And especially when there are a lot of backing vocal tracks, not singing the last consonant, like the S or T's at the end of the word, helps me later when I have to edit it, because they don't add up and it blends much easier with the lead vocal. And another cool trick that is especially effective if you want to achieve a really full gang vocal type of sound is adding a whisper track and blending that in with your backing vocals. That means you whisper everything with no pitch.